everybody. I'm
Hello.
Swoon. This is Zarya. This is Amelie. I think it's a romance. I don't actually know. The title screen has this spooky, creepy horror music vibe.
I know less than you.
Where lies your future? Oh. We start with Amelie. The rain never seems to cease at this time of the year. It pours from the sky in its unending grief, as if longing for something unseen. Thunder roared in the distance, enough so to make the young woman flinch, but not enough to make her waver. The pendulum clock on the wall swung back and forth, ticking down the time. She seems to be late.
Perhaps she's not coming after all, Amelie. There's no need to make such a sullen face. Mayhaps this is for the best.
She wrote that she would be here, so I shall wait. The young lady named Amelie sat upright in the lounge that rested by the entryway. Her back was straight and her head was level.
Do you truly believe it's safe to have visitors during the outbreak?
Lilica, I believe we have been isolated long enough, and Sophia has written that it is safe. I trust her word. She would not endanger us.
And if your pen pal turns out to be a robber in disguise, what then?
Emily smiled. She has a way with words that only a woman could have.
A lady robber, then.
Nonsense. By the way, Lilica, have you seen my letters?
Can't say that I have.
A knock sounded at the door, instantly halting their conversation. Amelie rose from her place and took a steady step forward before Lilica raised a hand to her.
Allow me.
The door groaned as it slowly swung open and revealed the young woman who knocked at the door. She was drenched from head to toe. Amelie stood stock still, unsure of what to say, but that only lasted a moment before the woman at the door bounded forward and wrapped her arms around her. Amelie! Sophia! She blinked before finally allowing her arms to wrap around Sophia's back. You're completely drenched. Did you forget your umbrella, perchance?
Or perhaps her umbrella got carried away with the wind.
Lilica pushed the door shut, sealing the building. I didn't even think to bring an umbrella. The forecast said sunny all day. My fault for believing it, I guess. I can't believe you're truly here. Me either. About time, right? You're just as pretty as I knew you'd be. Oh. And you too, but what are you wearing? Oh, she's a love interest. You need to voice her.
What?
Sophia,
No.
yeah.
Why?
'Cause.
No.
Go.
I don't... Seeing your house, I feel like I should have dressed up a little more.
No, perhaps it is I that is overdressed. Also, she's like super comfy looking, like you like to be.
I don't dress comfy.
You're literally dressed comfy right now. Lilica stood to the side, her arms crossed lightly over her chest. Her long hair reached down nearly to the wooden floor. Pardon my manners. My dear friend Lilica is here too. I believe I wrote about her in the past.
I remember. I kept all your letters safe. Don't worry.
As you... Oh.
No, that's you.
As you should.
Sorry, but is there any chance you have a towel?
Of course, my apologies. I'd usually have someone here to attend to us, but everyone's been sent home. Only the three of us remain. Let me fetch you a towel. Amelie knew not to run, yet a part of her felt the need to almost skip in joy. She wanted desperately to be back by Sophia's side, chatting about everything that they'd missed in their letters. The two had been pen pals for as long as she remembered. Sophia's letter had first been delivered to the manor by mistake, but for some reason Amelie had felt complied to reply. I think I said that right. I don't know. Since then, the two had been the best of friends, even having not met face to face. To finally meet now in the flesh had certainly been of great excitement to Amelie. She quickly retrieved the towel and made her way back to Sophia's side. Lilica stood a distance away from her, still looking vaguely unhappy. Sophia spun around, a look of surprise on her face when she saw Amelie. Sophia?
Oh, Emily.
They're so cute. I like her stars on her big poofy thing. Poofy. And the maid dress is really cute.
They are cute.
Does she have like 2 different stockings on?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, and she has one of her legs wrapped. Wow. Poor girl. Please use this.
Thanks, I'll bring an umbrella next time, I promise.
Sophia lightly toweled at her hair and clothing, drying off from the rain she'd found herself caught in. Then, if you're now dried off, would you care for a tour of the house before afternoon tea?
That sounds great.
Whoa! On your right is the pantry, and down the hall is the boiler room, but you shouldn't have any need for those spaces. The two walked side by side with Lilica trailing slightly behind. These are all guest bedrooms. I prepared this one for you to use. If you find anything not to your standards, you can let myself or Lilica know.
Emily, I have a feeling your standards are more higher than mine. I've never ever been in a house that looks like this.
No? Is your home not similar?
Well, it's a lot smaller.
She's doing the pouty face like Fern. There's no shame in that. You own your property, yeah?
Yeah, I recently bought it.
With your husband?
No, of course not. I'm not married.
Your father allowed you to buy property on your own.
Emily, you feel like, you say how you write. I'm so surprised.
And you speak quite casually.
People usually say that about me. Being here around you makes me want to be more formal.
What need is there for formality between friends?
That's true, yeah.
This is the morning room, and next door is the dining room. We'll be having afternoon tea in the sitting room here.
So many rooms.
Upstairs is my bedroom and the master bedroom. I must ask that you don't enter the master bedroom as it belongs to my parents, who are currently away.
Of course, I won't go poking around anyway.
Good. Look, I might kill you if you do. All this walking has made me parched. Shall we take afternoon tea now?
Sure, that sounds good.
I feel like I should do like some sort of British accent for her.
Oh my god.
Why don't you have a seat while Lilica and I prepare our food?
Oh, I can come help.
Nonsense, you're my guest. It would be remiss of me to allow you to lift a finger.
If you insist, but I'm happy to help anytime.
Thank you. I'll be back soon. Please rest.
Amelie.
Yes?
It's nothing. Take your time.
Sophia slipped through a doorway and disappeared. Emily smiled gently, feeling giddy from the bottom of her stomach. Isn't this lovely, Lilica? You have a new face in the house. It feels like forever. Yes, how lovely. I'm glad you are having fun at the very least. Are you not? I'm always having fun when we're together, Amelie. Oh, I see. Are you jealous? Worry not, my dear friend. Of course, our friendship means just as much to me. I value you greatly. Just as much? Indeed. Come along, Lilica. Let us prepare tea. Did you finish the baking yesterday? The pastries are ready for serving. Excellent. I'll just fetch the tea then. Allow me. A lady of your standing and height shouldn't be doing such a menial task, should she? And also, from your height, might collapse and break the teacups. Don't be absurd. Even Sophia herself seems to be fine in the kitchen. Did you hear how she jumped to help? I should follow her in her footsteps. And what would your parents think of that? I appreciate the sentiment, but they took with them all of the staff. I have little choice but to prepare my own tea. I see. Then I shall attend to our guest. I wouldn't want her to become lonely. Would you? I'll only be a few minutes. Of course. Anything for you, Amelie. It'll be a good chance for you to become friends, too. I'm sure it will be. Is she a yandere? Lilica left the kitchen with slow, deliberate steps. Amelie turned back to the kitchen. I wonder which she would prefer.
I don't know how either of these taste.
Me either.
I guess green tea sounds the most basic one.
Matcha. Matcha.
Oh no, is that matcha? I hate
know.
matcha.
I just presume that matcha is like generic tea.
No, I die. That's okay.
Green tea would be my first choice. I'm sure Sophia will agree. There. Amelie retrieved her finest teapot and 3 matching cups. Pink flowers blossomed over the white surface. Something about it reminded her of Sophia. What, maybe like her pink sweater? That is so large. I'm back.
Ah.
Sophia?
Oh, Amelie. I'm sorry, you scared me.
Is everything alright?
Look
at these painted backgrounds. They're so like, I don't know, they give it like a dreamy feel instead of like a setting feel to me.
That's fair.
Cause like the cloth here just like blends into the floor. And it kind of blends into the chair also, and the background.
Yeah, I just think I'm a little tired.
Good, I'm sorry for the delay, but I've prepared the tea and the pastries.
So this is what a high tea looks like.
High tea will come later. This is just a simple afternoon tea.
Will Lilica be joining us?
I believe so. Was she here a moment ago?
No, she wasn't here.
Oh God, she really is gonna kill her. How strange. She told me she was coming to sit with you. Perhaps she's gotten herself busy with something else.
Should we wait?
There's no need. It'll be sad to let the tea go cold. Amelie poured the tea into 2 cups. There's like making it weird. Amelie poured tea into the 2 cups slowly. I don't know why.
Do you need glasses?
No.
I think you might need glasses.
Copying the movements she'd seen Lilica do time and time again. Do you have much trouble getting here?
A little. My ride broke down, so I had to walk for a bit.
Broke down? Oh, I'm extremely sorry. If the staff had been here, I would have sent someone to collect you.
It's okay, it's just a little rain.
Look at her, like, kind of smile. I just wouldn't want you catching a fever. My medicine store has been running low of late.
No worries, I usually carry ibuprofen with me.
Ibuprofen? I haven't heard of it. Anyway, I'm glad you arrived here safely. I'll draw a bath for you later to make sure you're warmed up properly.
Thank you.
Emily sipped her tea before looking down at it with a confused expression. That's a little stale. I'll ask my father to procure a new batch when he arrives home.
Where are your parents, by the way?
Well, we were separated due to the plague. They took the staff to wait until a cure is found, left me here with Lilica not to catch the disease.
Right, I understand. I spent a lot of time separated from my family due to the pandemic, too.
It warms my heart to find another thing in common with you, Sophia. I was surprised to hear that it's safe enough for you to visit. Perhaps that means my parents will be back soon, too.
I think so. The world seems to be opening back up again.
Is this like... Because she keeps calling it a plague. Is she like trapped in like 1980s something when the Black Plague swept through England? And then meanwhile, like this girl is like modern times or something?
I was gonna say, like, is there like a time rift here?
Yeah.
And the girl just walked into old England.
But how have her letters been getting to her?
With the old England courier.
Oh my gosh, they have the carrier pigeons.
So what do you do locked up in this big house all the time?
Well, I usually spend my time sewing or playing music. I used to write, but...
But?
Well, my parents wondered if it was feminine enough.
I don't really think that matters. If you enjoy it, then I say you should do it.
Sophia, then what about you?
Wow, that tea really like did something to me.
It's pretty stale tea. It's just not setting right with my stomach. Normally a green tea.
And you're drinking more of it, I see. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let tea go to waste or go warm.
Warm.
I mean, go cold.
I see.
My pink tea with a monster with an M scratched into it.
Anyway, I'm studying art at university right now, so I guess that's what I spend most of my time on.
I think they're all British.
Wow. Why?
Because you don't say university.
You say that in... It's just because you Americans are so weird.
Oh. We say college.
Yeah.
Yeah. But college means like some specific type of part of university or something. I don't remember.
Oh my god.
I just say university to go along with whoever I'm talking to. You attend university?
Yeah, although I'm thinking about dropping out.
Like whenever I talk about my 2-year degree, like saying associate's degree doesn't make sense to anybody outside of America. And I'm like, yeah, so it's a 2-year degree. And then they're always like, oh. Sophia, you truly are filled with surprises. You in your own land and you attend school. How jealous I am.
Why don't you do the same?
Oh, no, I'm not allowed.
Of course you are, silly. Anyone can attend within reason.
Huh. Well, wouldn't it get in the way of my marriage?
You're engaged?
Amelie shook her head. No, not yet, but I'm already 19. I'm sure my father has prepared my dowry.
An arranged marriage?
Yes, naturally.
Oh... I don't think I'll ever get married.
Really? Doesn't your family object?
I don't think they really mind as long as I'm happy. You don't have to either, you know?
There's totally some timey-wimey fuckery happening. Huh. You've given me so much to think about. Much indeed. Now I wonder where Lilica has disappeared to. Well, it's no matter. The evening is already coming and soon it will be dark. Shall I draw you a bath?
That sounds wonderful, to be honest. I'm not hungry, so can we skip dinner tonight?
Of course, if that's what you wish. Let me show you to the bathroom. You may not believe it, but my father had taps installed. Isn't that wonderful? Truly modern, the most upper class. Had taps installed. Isn't that just wonderful?
Like, taps for a bath?
That's right. We used to have our maids fill the bath, but now there's no need.
Amelie, you're so strange. I have taps on my house too.
Truly, you must live quite the lavish lifestyle yourself.
I don't know about that.
This is the bathroom. Allow me to draw the bath for you. One moment. With haste, Amelie entered the room and began to fill the copper bath. It sat in the middle of a spacious bathroom. It was something Amelie was particularly proud of. She smiled as it filled before rejoining her companion. Feel free to go inside and make yourself comfortable. I'll return with a towel in a moment.
Thank you, Amelie.
She disappeared inside the room, leaving Amelie alone in the hall. I should light the sconces too. Where did I put those matches? Right here! Ugh, why she gotta jump scare us?
'Cause
Ah! You gave me a fright, Lilica. Where have you been? Preparing the guest room for your dear friend, of course. How kind. Sophia's just preparing for a bath at the present. I'm going to retrieve a towel for her from the linen closet. Huh. Emily, I think it best you send her home post-haste. What? Why would I do that? For all you know, she brings with her the plague. Sophia says it's now safe to travel. She believes father and mother will be returning soon. I believe it is perfectly safe. And what if she lies? She wouldn't do that. Sophia is a kind and good-natured person. She'd not bring any danger to us. Did you know that Sophia attends a local university and she lives by herself with no husband? She says that if I wanted, I could also study. The lady of the house should not study, Amelie. You must stay inside the house and await your parents. But I'm sure Mother would want the best for me. Perhaps while I await her, I could go inspect Sophia's school. Amelie. You must stay inside and await your parents' return. But don't you trust me? Have I ever tried to lead you astray? No, Lilica. I was just thinking that perhaps it is truly sorry, the tea was stale. Perhaps it is truly a beginning to be safe. Look, I have brought today's newspaper. Do you see the title? The plague runs rampant. Oh, the plague runs rampant. Put any notion of leaving or studying away for now, yes? As soon as it is truly safe to do so, then we shall, and you will be reunited with your family.
I think she's just like some weird witch that's keeping her trapped here.
Oh, maybe.
And she's just been spending like a million years there thinking it's just been like a few months.
Oh my god. Maybe. For now, it's just you and me. Thanks, Lilica. I'm glad you're here. As am I. Maybe she is a little witch. Oh, the towel. Let me go retrieve it. Go ahead. The linen cupboard was filled with various towels and beddings, all clean and properly folded thanks to Lilica. Which would suit her?
A pink towel, probably.
We get a pink towel. This one, it reminds me of her eyes. With her chosen towel in hand, Amelie returned to the bathroom door where Lilica awaited her. She first knocked at the door, and when there was no reply, she opened it carefully. The sound of the tap running still came from inside. Excuse me, I'm coming in. Sophia, I knocked, but I didn't hear a reply. I brought you a towel.
Ah.
Oh! Emily first saw a slender, marble-like back. Then she noticed the blue hair that fell on those bare shoulders, one side tucked carefully behind an ear. I'm dyslexic. When I record Elegant Sea Urchin, I have to do so much editing to fix it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Sophia, please forgive me. I didn't realize you had already entered the bath. Sometimes when I'm reading by myself, I have to read the same line like 4 times just to make sure that I got it. Yeah.
You really are trying to like make a case for this. She's okay.
Read the line.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. You just surprised me.
I'll leave the towel over here.
Thanks.
What if Sophia can't see Lilica? What if Lilica is like only visible to Emily?
Maybe.
Because they never interacted, did they?
They have not interacted.
And every time Lilica is like, oh yeah, I'll go tend to Sophie, then Sophia's by herself.
Oh.
Did you tell her that she must depart? No, Is something the matter? Are you feeling unwell? Your face is bright red. Sophia will stay until she decides to leave. Huh. As you wish. I'm sorry, Lilica, but the image of that small and beautiful back filled up Amelie's mind. I believe it's only fair that after she traveled so far, and she is my friend, I will finish preparing the guest room. Let me come help. Sophia, when you're done in there, you can come to your room. From the other side of the door, Sophia's voice came in return.
Okay, thanks, Emily.
That's the first time your waveforms have been, like, similar to how I talk.
Oh, that's so...
Yeah,
well,
you're trying to yell. The guest bedroom was freshly cleaned, with new linen on the bed and a lit lantern beside it. You did a fine job of preparing the room so far. Thank you, Lilica. Anything for you. Do you need something for your stomach? No, I'm fine, I promise. I was thinking, tomorrow, if the rain is cleared up, we could open the greenhouse again and have morning tea there. It's been so long since we last used it. Didn't we already speak of this? You cannot leave the house. But surely the greenhouse would be safe. No one else uses it, and it's only a few steps from the back door. It is unsafe. You know this. What's gotten into you? Is it because of your friend? I just thought it would be nice to at least sit in the sun. Then you may sit by the window in the dining hall. Is it really so unsafe that even stepping foot outdoors would be dangerous? Yes. Sophia, I see you're done with the bath. Emily shook her head, trying to remove the image that was still plastered to it.
Were you talking about the greenhouse?
Yes. Did you see it when you arrived?
I did, but it looked as if the plants inside had died.
Oh, that's impossible. It's barely been any time at all since the gardeners left. I'm sure the plants inside are more sturdy than that.
Well, even if they have died, maybe we can go ahead and replant the same things tomorrow.
How wonderful. Have you not heard a word I said? It is unsafe to do so.
Oh,
I guess she can't. She's not invisible. Okay. Oh, don't be such a spoil sport. I think it would be perfectly fine. Well, it's getting late now, so I'll just leave you to retire. If you need anything, my room is just upstairs on the left. Good night, Sophia. Lilica left first. The door, which was still hanging slightly open, shifted as she went.
Emily, would you stay for a while?
Is something the matter?
Just a little homesick.
Sophia sunk into the bed, sighing as her head hit the pillow. Of course. Why don't we chat for a while?
Then come join me.
Sophia gently pat the spot beside her in the bed. In bed? Oh, okay. The bed was still rather firm, unused by many guests. Amelie took a deep breath to calm her racing heart before she finally looked towards Sophia.
Thanks for staying with me for a while.
It's nothing to worry about. Truly, I wanted to spend more time with you too.
Oh, really? You don't find me boring?
You're the most interesting person I've ever met.
Don't be silly.
I am being completely honest. You truly are so unique.
I think the same about you too. I've never met anyone like you, really.
You wrote so much about yourself, and yet seeing you in person, I fear there's still so much I don't know.
There's plenty of time for us to tell each other everything.
Then tell me something about yourself, something you've never told anyone.
I like girls. I'm partially blind in my right eye.
Oh my
God.
God. Really? How well can you see?
It's okay. It's just a little blurry, really. You tell me something.
Well, when I was 12, I stole the cookie jar from the kitchen and blamed my brother. He was scolded for hours.
What a mischievous thought, child. I'm sure your brother there wasn't all too pleased.
Actually, it was his idea. He knew I wanted it and told me to tell my parents if it was him. And told me to tell my parents it was him if I asked.
Oh, what a good brother. Where is he now? Did he go away with your parents?
Emily shook her head. He died when he was 16.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Emily. What happened?
Scarlet fever. So my family was left with only me as an heir. And what worth is a female heir?
You're worth plenty, more than plenty even.
Thank you, Sophia, but some days I'm unsure. It's your turn again.
Truthfully, I said before I didn't want to get married, but that's not exactly right. I do.
Oh?
I just don't want a husband.
Then...
I'm sorry, does that make you uncomfortable?
No. I've also thought that I don't want a husband. Whenever my father has brought it up, I felt sick to my stomach.
How about coming away with me for a while?
Away? Outside the house? What about the sickness?
Ooh, It's okay now. You're gonna be okay. It's gonna get a little down.
You mother, get up, get down with the sickness.
You could come stay at my house and I could show you around my school. You don't have to go through an arranged marriage if you don't want to.
This lady's speaking so many facts. You would do that for me?
You are my dearest friend, and I actually...
Lilica. At some point, the two women had gotten close enough together that they could feel each other's breath on their lips. The two parted with reddened cheeks, Emily quickly brushing her skirt off and standing up. I should be going to bed. Please rest well. We can talk more about it in the morning, right?
Right. Good night, Emily. I'll see you tomorrow.
This is cute. What do you mean, no?
No. It's really cute.
Lilica! It's like that sitcom thing where it's like, and then she's like, yeah.
Aww.
It is late. You should retire to your bedroom. Yes, I shall. It's nice having someone else around, isn't it? I feel as if the manor is coming back to life. I hope we see Mother and Father soon. I'm sure we will. Shall I see you to bed? Yes, please. The hallway was darkened with only a few sconces and candles lit along the way. Usually that would fill Amelie with a sense of comfort, but right now the flickering flames seemed to make her feel distressed. Whether that was because of the way her mind was racing or the way her heart was beating, she didn't know. What is... Oh, there's a lion. Do you see the lion?
Yes.
What is that one? Is that a bull?
I don't know.
That one right there?
That one right there, I think
it a bull?
I think it's just a creature.
Oh, it's not supposed to be anything?
I think it's just a creature.
It looks like a bull's head with like legs and butt. Like
I see
like the butt
Yes.
and then the legs, and it's just like and then the head.
Oh, I see.
Maybe it's got like one arm like going whoo, but then that's it.
It's definitely a painting.
It's stained glass.
I am aware.
As she rose up the grand staircase, her eyes lingered on the large stained glass window. The moon shone through the colored glass, leaving a rainbow of colors over the steps. It caught her attention for only a moment before she retreated to her bedroom. Oh, the rain has cleared.
Oh my god.
Lilica, may I ask you a question? Certainly. She reminds me of the girl in ReZero.
Oh.
Who was the one in the house all the time with no eyebrows?
With no
and
eyebrows.
The giant drills.
Oh, that one. I don't know her name.
I don't remember her name either. Betty, I think.
I didn't pay attention to that anime when it was put on the server.
That's fine. Betty's the only good thing about that show.
It's the only character I kind of liked.
Mm-hmm.
She's just a gremlin that just shuts herself in her room.
Exactly. That's magically closed off forever and always. Have you ever heard of a woman loving another woman as a woman would love a man? Huh. Where did you hear about such a thing? Nowhere in particular. It was just a thought that came to my mind. I think you are overtired because of all the excitement, Amelie. I think it is best you get some rest. Yeah, alright. Good night, Lilica. Good night, Amelie. If you ever speak to me about that queer shit again, I'm going to smack you just like your father smacked your brother before he died. Good morning, Lilica. I was just on my way to see if Sophia has awakened yet. Amelie? Sophia disappeared during the night. I believe she went to the same place your parents went. What? That cannot be right. Don't run, Amelie. Amelie dashed down the hall and knocked quickly on the door to the guest bedroom, which fell open with no resistance. Inside, the bedding was disheveled and her luggage was strewn about. It's not true. She wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye. Dearie me, I'm sorry. I told you it was a bad idea for anyone to visit, didn't I? Oh, Lilica, this isn't fair. I thought she said we would... There. Come here.
Oh
Lilica wrapped her thin arms around the young woman, gently patting her on the back. See, you shouldn't depend on anyone else. I'm here. I won't ever leave you. Amelie clutched at her back, tears already falling from her eyes. We'll be together forever. And you and I will be together forever, right? That was the achievement we just got. Together forever. Do we continue?
Yeah, continue.
Continue.
Oh my god.
Okay, never mind. We begin. Sophia. What?
Nothing.
The rain never seems to cease at this time of the year. It pours from the sky in its unending grief, as if longing for something unseen. Thunder roared in the distance, enough to make the young woman flinch, but not enough to make her waver. The taxi gently rocked as the road turned to rubble, and the rubble turned to overgrown dirt track. Outside of the window, Sophia could barely see a few feet away through the raging storm. It made her feel uneasy. In her lap a letter, she read the words again despite knowing them off by heart. Dear Sophia, how glad I am to hear that you are well. I am healthy, although I believe I may have a problem of the heart. It has gotten quite lonely waiting here for my parents to return. I am thankful to have Lilica residing with me, but I still await the day where my family will be reunited. But you say that it is safe enough for you to visit. Truly, I have never even dared to dream of being able to see you in the flesh. If it is true, then I will await you at the address written on the back of this letter. Yours, Emily. Yes, sir, we have the address right. We're in the middle of nowhere. Sophia stared at the fragile handwritten address that Emily had trusted to her.
Yes, this is the right way, I'm sure of it.
Her heart wouldn't settle. Meeting what could be a stranger in the middle of nowhere on a day like this. Who wouldn't be nervous? Yet there was something else, eagerness, a thrill, something beyond mere nerves that turned into excitement. She could barely imagine the hand that had penned the letters she had been receiving for years on end, let alone a face. But for some reason, her heart still beat hard when regarding the words of the mysterious young lady of 19 from a manor far out in the middle of nowhere wrote to her. Desperate to calm her jitters, she pulled out her phone, looking to send her worried family one last message of reassurance, only to find that it wouldn't switch on.
Sure it was fully charged.
The rain was falling even more heavily now. In the distance, a building sprang into view. It was surrounded by a tall metal fence with an ornate gate firmly shut at the front. Just then the taxi sputtered and rolled to a stop, smoke rising from the hood. What the? This was just serviced a week ago! Yeah, what the heck? I'm walking here.
Is something wrong?
Sorry, miss. Looks like we're out of action.
It's okay, I think we're nearly there anyway.
Pulling the cash from her wallet, she handed over her fare and stepped out of the car. You just gonna pay me and leave me in the middle of nowhere? I ain't even got service. Why the fuck ain't my phone working? Hey, get back here, pay for my car! What the fuck's going on here? And then, like, suddenly, like, he just, like, vanishes.
Yeah.
The rain bucked down from above, soaking her to her very core. She shivered as she dashed towards the iron gate. Surprisingly, it pushed open with little effort, and not even a creak. Sophia stopped in front of the large wooden door, finally free from the seemingly never-ending downpour. From afar, the door had seemed inviting enough, but now it looked awfully large and imposing. And yet, she raised her fist and knocked away. Silence followed.
Is this not the right place after all?
The door swung open, this time with a low, menacing groan. On the other side of that doorway, was a fair girl with long brown hair and golden eyes. Sophia, forgetting the fact that she was soaking wet, rushed forward and embraced the girl.
Emily!
Sophia! Amelie's gentle arms wrapped around Sophia's back in return, and finally all of Sophia's worries melted away. My, you're completely drenched. Did you forget your umbrella, perchance? Or perhaps her umbrella got carried away by the wind. Behind Sophia, the front door swung open. Oh, it doesn't have a skip button, so it must be different.
Yeah.
Behind Sophia, the front door swung shut without any assistance.
Huh? Hold on, because I think one of the lines that the weird girl had was given to Emily. So what if Emily's just saying the girl's lines too?
Oh my god, what if Lilica is just like a weird part of her head? Oh my god.
Oh my god. I didn't even think to bring an umbrella. The forecast had sunny all day. My fault for believing it, I guess.
I can't believe you're truly here.
Me either. About time, right? You're just as pretty as I knew you'd be.
Oh, and you too, but what are you wearing? That's what I was waiting for, okay.
Seeing your house, I feel like I should have dressed up a little more.
No, perhaps it is I that is overdressed. Is that a potato sack with stars painted on it? Do you need money?
Actually, this costed me $40.
Oh my gosh, you're an American. Sophia smiled. Somehow her dress sense seemed to fit her riding style perfectly, old-fashioned and yet very neat and respectable. Sophia felt a slight heat rising to her cheeks. She really was so refined and elegant. Pardon my manners. My dear friend Lilica is here too. I believe I wrote about her in the past.
I remember. I kept all of your little savior, don't worry.
As you should. Oh, that was Lilica's words, wasn't it? Oh.
Sorry, but is there any chance you have a towel?
Of course, my apologies. I would usually have someone here to attend to us, but everyone's been sent home. Only the three of us remain. Let me fetch you a towel. Emily withdrew from the hug. She was a little taller than Sophia, despite both being the same age. Sophia peered up at her from below before she disappeared down a hallway and into another room.
This really is a manner. When she told me about her house, I almost didn't believe it.
A layer of dust rested against a tabletop along with a few other items. On the set, a newspaper sat open.
Look at the newspaper.
The set was a deep emerald green. It looked almost unused despite its apparent age. On it rested a newspaper, open in a few pages. Sophia turned her head to read the headline, but from afar could only read the word plague. She reached across to pick up the newspaper. Behind Sophia, the window began to shake in the wind as her fingertips grazed the surface.
Sacking Wendy.
She spun around just in time to see the front door fly open and the howling wind filled the entryway. She scrambled to the door, and with great effort she shut it again.
Ugh, phew. Emily?
When Sophia spun back around, the newspaper and the items on the table were all gone. Sophia?
Oh, Emily.
Please, use this.
Thanks, I'll bring an umbrella next time, I promise.
Sophia took the towel in her hand. It was soft, but somewhat old. She lightly dried her hair and clothes, but still found herself cold. Then, if you're now dried off, would you care for a tour of the house before afternoon tea?
That sounds great.
On your right is a pantry, down the hall is the boiler room, and you shouldn't have any need for those spaces. The two walked side by side alone in such a big manner. These are all guest bedrooms. I prepared this one for you to use. For yourself, I prepared this one for your use. If you find anything not to your standards, you can let myself or Lilica know.
Amelie, I have a feeling your standards are much higher than mine. I've never even been in a house that looks like this.
No, is your home not similar?
Well, it's a lot smaller.
There's no shame in that. Do you own your own property, yes?
Yeah, I've actually recently bought it.
With your husband?
No, of course not. I'm not married.
Your father allowed you to buy property on your own.
Amelie, you speak just like how you write. I'm so surprised.
And you speak quite casually.
People usually say that about me. Being here around you makes me want to be more formal.
What need is there of formality between friends?
That's true too.
This is the morning room, and next door, the dining room. We'll be having afternoon tea in the sitting room here.
So many rooms.
Upstairs is my bedroom and the master bedroom. I must ask that you don't enter the master bedroom, as it belongs to my parents who are currently away. From the landing below, Sophia could see the door to the master bedroom. For some reason, her eyes were glued to it. Come inside. Come open the door. We're waiting for you.
Of course, I won't go poking around anyway.
Sophia shook her head, and time seemed to resume around her. All this walking has made me parched. Shall we take afternoon tea now?
Sure, that sounds good.
Why don't you have a seat while Lilica and I prepare our food?
Oh, I can come help.
Does she know that she has an imaginary friend?
No.
Okay.
I think...
Oh. What is defy face?
Do it! Do it!
Okay. Nonsense. You are my guest. It would be remiss of me to allow you to lift a finger.
If you insist, but I'm happy to help anytime.
Thank you. I'll be back
What
soon.
was that
Please
about?
rest. I don't know.
I thought if we clicked that we were gonna help.
I thought we were gonna
food.
go help too. Yeah.
Emily,
Yes.
it's nothing. Take your time. Actually, is it okay if I ask you something?
Of course it is.
Is there someone else in the house with us?
Oh. There's no one apart from myself, you, and Lilica.
And Lilica is?
She's just gone into the kitchen. Didn't you see her enter?
Right. My vision must be playing up.
Is something the matter?
No, it's fine. I'll wait for you inside.
Oh. Now we're in the room where everything melts together. Oh. The room was spacious and dead silent apart from Sophia's footsteps as she crossed the wooden floor. Each step was deliberate and slow as her eyes searched through the room. Nothing in particular stood out. Large windows showed a glimpse of the outside world through thick curtains. The rain was still coming down hard, obscuring her view. The windows shook every now and then, but the wind had seemed to die down a little. Behind her, a chair at the dining table had been pulled out as if we were waiting for her to sit down.
Emily, was that you? Emily?
Her hand rested against her chest, begging her heart to calm.
Or Lilica?
Whether a hollow laugh sounded through the room or not, she wasn't sure. She quietly sat down in the seat that was left for her. The table was already set, but once again she noticed a thin layer of dust on the surface. Through the silence, Sophia could hear it again. Footsteps. But this time, from directly above.
The master bathroom?
In front of her very eyes, Sophia watched the scene unfold. A woman, not older than 40, removed her shoes and stepped onto the table, yet nothing was disturbed. She reached up and took hold of the noose, the rope wrapped around her neck like the finest pearl necklace. Join me. The woman's eyes locked onto Sophia's. Her hand was outstretched, waiting to be taken. A rusty smell filled her nose, accented with the faint smell of perfume. Sophia shivered in response, her breath frosty on her lips. She reached for the hand slowly. I'm back.
Ah, do it!
Sophia?
Oh, Emily. I'm sorry, you scared me.
Is everything all right?
Uh,
Sophia stared at the spot the woman was only a moment ago. Both she and the noose had disappeared.
Emily,
Something is the matter, isn't it?
Did something happen within this room?
Happen? What exactly do you mean?
Did a woman with brown hair tied into a blonde and dark green dress ever live here?
Well, it sounds to me like you're describing my mother.
Your mother?
Yes, she's just as you described, but you couldn't have seen her here. She's still away.
Right.
Let me pour us tea before it gets cold. See, British people are so fucked up.
They are.
I'm only kidding.
Will Lilica be joining us?
I believe so. Was she here a moment ago?
No, she wasn't here.
How strange. She told me she was coming to sit with you. Perhaps she's gotten herself busy with something else.
Should we wait?
There's no need. It would be sad to let the tea go cold. Sophia watched as the tea filled 2 out of 3 of the cups. The third cup sat empty. For some reason, the very sight filled her with dread. She picked up the cup and brought it to her lips. It was green tea. The taste was bitter and musty. With her heart on edge, she placed the cup back down on the saucer, smiling toward Amelie. Did you have much trouble getting here?
A little. My car broke down, so I had to walk for a bit.
Broke down? Oh, I'm extremely sorry. If the staff had been here, I would have sent someone to collect you.
It's okay. It's just a little rain.
I just wouldn't want you to catch a fever. My medicine store has been running low of late.
No worries. I usually carry ibuprofen with me.
Ibuprofen? I haven't heard of it. Anyway, I'm glad you arrived here safely. I'll draw a bath for you later to make sure you are warmed up properly.
Thank you.
Emily sipped at her tea before looking down at it with a confused expression. A little stale. I'll ask my father to procure a new batch when he arrives home.
Where are your parents, by the way?
Well, we were separated due to the plague. They took the staff to wait until the cure is found, and left me here with Lilica as not to catch the disease.
Right, I understand. I spend a little time separated from my family due to the pandemic, too.
It warms my heart to find another thing in common with you, Sophia. I was surprised to hear that it was safe enough for you to visit. Perhaps that means my parents will be back soon, too.
I think so. The world seems to be opening back up again. So, what do you do locked up in this big house all the time?
Well, I usually spend my time sewing or playing music. I used to write, but...
But?
Well, my parents wondered if it was feminine enough.
I don't really think that matters. If you enjoy it, then I say you should do it.
Sophia? Huh, then what about you?
Well, I'm studying art at university right now, so I guess that's what I spend most of my time on.
You attend university?
Yeah, although I'm thinking about dropping out.
Did she say that originally?
Yes.
Oh, shit. No! Sophia, you truly are filled with surprises. You own your own land, and you attend school. How jealous am I?
Why don't you do the same?
Oh no, I'm not allowed.
Of course you are. Anyone can attend within reason.
But, well, Wouldn't it get in the way of my marriage?
You're engaged?
Amelie shook her head. No, not yet, but I'm already 19. I'm sure my father has prepared my dowry.
An arranged marriage?
Yes, naturally.
I don't think I'll ever get married.
Really, doesn't your family object?
I don't think they really mind as long as I'm happy. You don't have to either, you know?
You've given me much to think about, much indeed. Now, I wonder where Lilica has disappeared to. Well, it's no matter. The evening is already coming, and soon it will be dark. Shall I draw you a bath?
That sounds wonderful. To be honest, I'm not hungry, so can we skip dinner tonight?
Of course, if that's what you wish. Let me show you the bathroom. I think she's onto it, and so that's why she was like, I don't want food.
No food.
If you feed me some stale-ass crackers from like 200 years ago, I think I'm going to throw up. Yeah. Before she left the room, Sophia took one last look back at where the noose once hung.
What if the shower is just like dirty brown water and that's why she didn't get in the bath?
I thought she did.
Well, yeah, she was getting undressed, so maybe.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Wait, well, when Emily went into the room, wasn't she in the water?
No, I think...
She was still just undressing?
Yeah, I think that was the thing.
Okay.
The tap was still running.
You may not believe it, but my father had taps installed. Isn't that wonderful?
Like, taps for a bath?
That's right. We used to have our maids fill the bath, but now there's no need.
Ugh. Emily, you're so strange. I have taps on my house too. Did you bring the tea with you, Emily?
I just didn't want it to go to waste.
I thought you said it was stale.
It's upsetting my stomach a whole lot.
I think you should leave that on the side.
Monster Energy needs to sponsor me already. Truly, you must live quite the lavish lifestyle yourself.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's a $900 apartment.
You said you own it.
Yeah, but I mean...
That's
my
probably
parents
what it
helped me
is.
pay for it.
Like just a flat, yeah. This is the bedroom. Allow me to draw the bath for you. One moment. Alone in the hallway, Sophia peered back up the grand staircase, past the large stained glass window, and at the dark door shut tight. A moment later, Amelie popped back out of the bathroom. Feel free to go inside and make yourself comfortable. I'll return with a towel in a moment.
Thanks, Emily.
Water spewed from the rusted pipes into the steel-lined wooden bathtub. Everything else was silent. Sophia took careful steps forward and peered into the bath. All seemed normal. With a sigh, she finally let her shoulders relax, yet in her mind all she could see was that woman with her outstretched hand reaching towards her. She clutched her hand to her chest. It still shook. Sophia stumbled forward until her hands rested on either side of the washroom basin. Her fingers held on tight until her knuckles were bone white.
It's okay, Sophia. You're just tired.
Her eyes traveled up to the mirror. It was embellished with a golden frame. She stared at her reflection. She was still herself. It was all a figment of her imagination.
Ugh.
That's when she saw it. In the mirror, standing behind her, was a young woman with long blonde hair that neatly reached down to the floor and deep blood-red eyes. She didn't try to speak or make any movement. She just stared with her big, dark eyes.
Who?
Sophia wanted to spin around to confront the girl, but her whole body was frozen stiff. The young woman finally started to move, one step at a time, maintaining eye contact through the mirror. She crept closer, closer, and closer, until Sophia swore she could feel her breath on the back of her neck. Her mouth seemed to be moving, but no words escaped her lips.
Who are you?
She spun around, but no one was there. Did you see it?
Number 5, lesbian ghost apparition.
The water overflowed from the tub, spilling out over the floor. Sophia rushed forward to turn off the tap and noticed it. What? The water that came from the tap was red. Holy shit, you were right. A dark, deep red. She hurriedly turned the tap off. She hurriedly turned the tap for what felt like forever, and finally it stopped. Sophia stared at the dark liquid inside the tub. Without thought, her hand dipped in. When she withdrew it, each finger was dyed red. Something about it captivated Sophia. She undressed one layer at a time, peeling away the still damp clothing and stepping forward and into the bathtub. Ew, she sank down into the liquid until everything under her shoulders was submerged in the liquid.
Just think about it as a bath bomb.
It felt heavier than water, much heavier. This is like Markiplier doing Iron Lung. As she stared directly ahead, those blood-red eyes reflected in her mind. Why not just end it here? You're scared, aren't you? Just sink down. Accept your fate.
Accept it.
She could no longer hear the sound of the door opening as her face sunk down into the liquid, her eyes shut. Sophia, I knocked, but I didn't hear a reply. I brought you a towel.
Ah!
Sophia's eyes sprung open. The water was clear, and the tap was still running, causing it to overflow onto the floor once again. Huh. Sophia drew her knees to her chest, still facing away from Amelie's voice. Heat rose to her cheeks. Being seen like this, by her. Oh, Sophia, please, forgive me. I didn't realize you had already entered the bath.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. You just surprised me.
I'll leave the towel over here.
Thanks.
The door shut again. Sophia finally turned back to look where Amelie once stood. No one was there anymore. Not Amelie, not a woman in a long green dress, or a young lady with blonde hair. She sighed.
What's going on?
She sank into the water, although this time fully conscious of what she was doing. Not feeling all that much better, she stepped out and took hold of the towel that Amelie had left for her. Water fell from her body as she stared at the cloth. The towel was pink, similar to her favorite hoodie.
Oh.
The towel was old and full of holes and what seemed to be burn marks. Reluctantly, she wrapped it around her body. From outside the door, Amelie's voice called to her. Let me come help. Sophia, when you're done in there, you can come to your room.
Okay, thanks, Amelie. Who is she helping? Malika?
She shivered. The room had become awfully cold, and the towel did little to bring her warmth. She picked up her discarded clothes and redressed. Her clothes felt foreign and wrong on her. Sophia took a deep breath, then swallowed hard.
I'm okay.
The hall was already darkened, with no light spilling in from the windows. A few sconces attached to the walls were lit with live flames, but it offered very little in the way of calming her. Step, step, step. The floor creaked under her weight. She stopped outside of her bedroom. Inside, she could hear talking. She put her ear to the door. Didn't we already speak of this? You cannot leave the house. But surely the greenhouse would be safe. No one else uses it, and it's only a few steps from the back door. It is unsafe, you know this. What's gotten into you? It's this because of your friend? I just thought it would be nice to at least sit in the sun. Then you may sit by the window in the dining hall. Is it really so unsafe that even taking a foot outdoors would be dangerous? Yes. Sophia opened the door and entered the room. Amelie stood by herself, making the bed. Sophia, I see you're done with the bath. Sophia looked away, thinking of what had happened in the bathroom.
Were you talking about the greenhouse?
Yes, did you see it when you arrived?
I did, but it looked as if the plants inside had died.
Oh, that's impossible. It's barely been any time at all since the gardeners left. I'm sure the plants inside are more sturdy than that.
Well, even if they have died, maybe we could go in and replant some things tomorrow.
How wonderful. Have you not heard a word I said? It is unsafe to do so. It's like Gollum, like,
Oh,
my precious.
I
And then,
mean,
it hates us, precious, it hates us.
I've met the weirder lesbians than this. I think I can handle it.
Oh, don't be such a spoil sport. I think it would be perfectly fine. Well, it's getting late now, so I'll leave you to retire. If you need anything, my room is just upstairs on the left. Good night, Sophia. The door shifted before Amelie could even reach to touch it. Sophia's eyes locked in on the movement.
Emily, would you stay for a while?
Is something the matter?
I'm just a little homesick.
Sophia sat down on the bed before resting her head on the pillow. It was hard. Of course. Why don't we chat for a while?
Then come join me.
Sophia gently pat the spot beside her in the bed. In the bed? Oh, okay. Sophia looked toward Amelie in the low light. Right now, she seemed hauntingly beautiful, as if she were nothing more than a ghost.
Thanks for staying with me for a while.
It's nothing to worry about, truly. I wanted to spend more time with you, too.
Oh, really? You don't find me boring?
You are the most interesting person I've ever met.
Don't be silly.
I am being completely honest. You truly are so unique.
I think the same about you. I've never met anyone like you, really.
Her mind flashed back to all she had seen. Really, she truly had never met anyone like Amelie. You wrote so much about yourself, and yet seeing you in person, I fear there's still so much I don't know.
There's plenty of time for us to tell each other everything.
Then tell me something about yourself, something you've never told anyone.
I'm partially blind in my right eye.
Really? How well can you see?
It's okay, it's just a little blurry, really. You tell me something.
Tell me something, she thought. Tell me what's going on here. Tell me I'm not insane. Well, when I was 12, I stole the cookie jar from the kitchen and blamed my brother. He was scolded for hours.
What a mischievous child. I'm sure your brother wasn't all too pleased.
Actually, it was his idea. He knew I wanted it and told me to tell my parents it was him if I was asked.
What a good brother. Where is he now? That he'd go away with your parents?
Emily shook her head. He died when he was 16.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Emily. What happened?
Scarlet fever, so my family was left with only me as an heir. And what worth is a female heir?
You're worth plenty. More than plenty.
Thank you, Sophia, but some days I'm unsure. It's your turn again.
Truthfully, I said before I didn't want to get married, but that's not exactly right. I do.
Oh?
I just don't want a husband.
Huh. Then...
Oh, I'm sorry. Does it make you uncomfortable?
No. I have also thought that I don't want a husband. Whenever my father has brought it up, I felt sick to my stomach.
How about coming away with me for a while.
Away? Outside of the house? What about the sickness? Yes, away from this place.
It's okay now. You'll be okay. You could come stay at my house and I could show you around my school. You don't have to go through an arranged marriage if you don't want to.
Huh. You would do that for me?
You are my dearest friend, and I actually... Ugh.
Was that a knocking or
I
footsteps?
think that was supposed to be footsteps, but it sounded more like knocking.
Oh my god.
Do it!
Lilika? At some point, the two women had gotten close enough together that they could feel each other's breath on their lips. The two parted with reddened cheeks, Amelie quickly brushing her skirt off and standing up. I should be going to bed. Please, rest well. We can talk more about it in the morning, right?
Right. Good night, Emily. I'll see you tomorrow. Emily, wait a moment.
Yes?
What does Lilika look like?
What a funny question. You've seen her plenty of times already.
With my eye, I sometimes struggle a little.
Right, my apologies. She has long blonde hair, done up like this. Emily pretended to put her hair into two low ponytails.
What color are her eyes?
Red, and she wears a dress of white and black with a red ribbon, the same color as her eyes.
Oh. Thank you, Emily. Good night.
See you in the morning. Emily left the room. Meanwhile, Sophia's eyes studied the space.
Defy the future! Fight it! Are you here, Lilika?
Silence followed.
If I stay here, will I live to see tomorrow?
More silence. She gulped. The frame by the side of her bed flickered wildly. Sophia laid back, shutting her eyes, but she felt as if someone was watching her, waiting and biding their time. Cold tendrils wrapped around her throat like a snake, cool like ice and getting tighter and tighter. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't even move. She opened her eyes, but no one was there. Sophia wasted no more time. She jumped to her feet and quickly shoved them back into her shoes and headed for the door. It opened without any resistance. Outside the room, the hallway was dark, lit only by a handful of candles and sconces. Sophia swallowed, then stepped out. The house was silent. Sophia took careful steps, but the floorboards still squeaked loudly beneath her. During the day, she hadn't even noticed, but now, wrapped in darkness, it seemed as if those small sounds would wake whatever was sleeping inside this house.
Emily? Lilika?
She whispered, but heard no response. Upon being met with only more silence, her footsteps sped up. Far in the distance, she heard something shift. A slight sound, one that wouldn't normally be noticed. But for Sophia, it was enough to make her heart race. She sped to the end of the hall and stood at the bottom of the grand staircase. Above, her eyes honed in on two doors in particular. The master bedroom and the door to Amelie's room.
Emily.
The choice was obvious. Sophia raced up the stairs and stood in front of the door to her pen pal's room. But as she went to knock, the door fell open.
Emily, are you in here?
She received no reply. Sophia's head spun around. From somewhere deep in the dark, a gentle tune was being played skillfully. Her arms dropped to her side. The sound consumed her. Sophia drifted back out of Amelie's bedroom, chasing that dreamy song. Step, step, step through the darkness. All that mattered was that sound. She came to the end of the hallway. A single door stood in her way. A bookcase was pushed to the side. Without a second thought, she pulled it open. In the center of the room, surrounded by candles, Amelie sat. Her skirt fanned out around her. Spread out over the floor were piles of letters. Upon closer inspection, each was filled with words that had been crossed out and signed with yours, Marion.
Emily, are you awake?
Her eyes were shut tight, yet her hands moved enough to play the sorrowful tune.
Please listen to me, Emily. Lilikas, she isn't.
I'm not what? You're going to leave her, aren't you? Sophia heard the door shut behind her. She backed up quickly and tried the handle, but it was stuck. Amelie's eyes finally opened. In place of her usual golden eyes was a glare of deep red.
Emily, snap out of it. Please, snap out of it.
You want to take her away?
Emily, please.
One by one, the candles blew out, and the two were plunged into darkness. Amelie's body slumped forward and crashed to the ground. It's nice to meet you, Sophia. I'm sure we're going to have a fun time living together. Since you will be staying with us after all, right? Won't you stay with us, Sophia? That was our achievement that we just got. Ooh. Oh.
We
gotta get both.
Yeah, we have to get both endings.
Okay. I didn't even think to save before we made choices. Do you think it's the fate defying, or do you think it was at the end choosing to leave or go?
I think it's definitely the fate defying. I mean, look at the tabletop, I guess.
Sophia ran her finger over the tabletop. The wood was carved with an intricate pattern that rounded around the edge of the surface. Her hand reached across to pick up a book that laid face down. Behind Sophia, the window began to shake in the wind as her fingertips grazed the surface.
It's hecking windy.
I guess that's back to defy?
I mean, try just click on it, bro.
Like away from it?
Yeah. Like, just try to, like...
Oh. Stays there.
Just keep going through it, I guess. Yeah. No.
This is different.
Yes. I think I'm just a little tired.
Good, I'm sorry for the delay, but I've prepared the tea and pastries.
So this is what a high tea looks like.
High tea will come later. This is just a simple afternoon tea.
Will Lilika be joining us?
Oh, so we can't defy if we don't defy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just accept it.
For some reason, Sophia just couldn't sit still. She tried to lay down to rest, but turned this way and that, uneasy.
I'll get some water.
The hallway was dark, with most of the sconces having been blown out already. Sophia stepped carefully through the space, conscious of the sound her footsteps created.
The kitchen was by the stairwell?
Hand-painted portraits were lined up in rows on either side of the hall. She stared up at the grand staircase. Each was inviting, enticing her to make the ascent. Her large eyes stared once again at the imposing stained glass window, and then to the doors that awaited upstairs. Her hand rested against the kitchen door, her fingers dancing over the handle. It stayed there in her mind, as her mind debated with itself. Waiting. Come here. Come visit us. Her hand dropped to her side as she ascended past the glass window and to the next floor. 2 doors awaited her. A chill ran through the air as a scene played out before her. Two women dragged a man's body up the staircase, leaving a trail of blood on the otherwise pristine carpet. They pushed open one of the doors. The man's head hit the final step, but he made no move to stop them, nor cried out in pain. He was already long dead. The figures disappeared into the room. When Sophia blinked, the door was shut again. She trembled. The master bedroom. From behind that closed door, a voice called out to her, but the words were much too faint to make out. Her hand rested against the handle. Sophia couldn't stop it from shaking. With a careful motion, she pushed the door open. A musty smell came from further inside the dark room. Sophia, peering into the darkness, quickly took hold of one of the lit candles near the room and stepped inside. A portrait sat above a large canopied bed. The curtains were pulled back, hiding whatever was inside. In the portrait, Amelie sat beside a woman with a green dress and brown hair done up into a bun. Standing behind them was a man with an imposing brow and a large beard. A family of mice ran from under the bed and out of the room. Sophia jumped to the side, narrowly avoiding them. Step, step, step. Each step brought her closer to that bed. Each step made her chest feel heavier, tighter. She stood before the bed and reached a trembling hand to the curtains that hid whatever lay inside. A wind blew from somewhere unseen and her candle extinguished. Behind her, the door shut and the room plunged into near complete darkness.
Emily, is that you? I'm sorry I came in here after you asked me not to. I'll just go now, okay?
Her body fell forward before she had a moment to react. She trembled through the curtains and landed on something hard that rested on the bed.
What?
The curtains flew open and the moon shone in from outside. The body she was expecting to find was absent. In its place, two skeletons, long ago decayed. They laid side by side, one smaller and the other larger. But now, one was either side of her. Her scream pierced through the air, but no one came running. She tried desperately to squirm, to run, but it felt as if something was sitting on her, holding her down. She's so cute. I wish she wasn't scared. Away. As she struggled, she saw it. Two dark, red eyes hanging above her, watching. You won't take her away from me. She's mine, 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 not yours. That's our achievement. Wow. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Tune in next time for the ending.
What the fuck?
Stay safe, wash your hands, and sweet dreams.